So next up, we have a historic panel here. We're going to have 3 betas. These are going to be working prototypes of tablets and mobile devices that are competing heavily to erode the Apple lock on this space. You might as well face it, guys. There's a 900-pound gorilla out there, and you guys, one of you is going to take him down. And may the consumer win. So we're going to learn about these things right now. I'd like you guys to come up and set up at your stations. First of all, I want to introduce our panel today. Closest to me I have Dr. Dan Yang of RulingNet in the red with Vinci. Hold it up, please. Who believes, and I quote, "Every child should play their way into Harvard." So we're eager to learn about Vinci. We have Nabi. Let's get the word right. Nabi up next. So Jim Mitchell is the CEO of Fuhu, which is funded by Foxconn.
Right.
Is that correct? And this device is on the cover of Children's Technology Review, this issue, and it says, "iPad killer, question mark." It's an Android-based 7-inch device with HDMI, mini HDMI out, runs Netflix and Angry Birds. And so we're going to learn about that. Thank you for being here today. Next up, we have Playbase.
Yeah.
Playbase from all the way from Singapore. Make this guy feel good. Ashley Syed, the managing director. You didn't give me an interesting fact about yourself, sir, so I'm just going to make something up. No, I won't. So he's the 7-inch of Playbase, which is a $250 7-inch tablet as well, and it's Android-based, and there's no bloatware. And I loved it. It says you can spill your beer on it and it still works. So you might want to check the documentation on that one. We have next up, from the toy perspective, the LeapPad, which I believe had a record record holiday season, and so that's out there. And you may not know that Joe Waller was a Pokemon mascot at the Mall of America. Did you know that? So there you go. And next to Jill, we have from Sony, we have Vita. And if you haven't touched one, you can touch it on both sides because it has capacitive surfaces on the top and the bottom. It's one of the most interesting pieces of hardware I think I've ever seen. This guy sitting there, you may look at him and think he's just a normal guy, but he's actually was a statistician for 20 years for the San Francisco 49ers. And he also did the PR for their Super Bowl. Currently, though, he's the director of hardware for Sony. Look at that. There they are. They're beautiful. So last up, we have Ed McNerney, who's been in this space for a long, long time. I think I may have reviewed some of your Apple II stuff. He's currently with one laptop per child, and he has the beta of the Exo 3, and so we're going to learn about these. Are you guys ready? Everybody, we're ready to go. We're about to look at some stuff that no one's seen yet in all-in-one space. So I'm really eager to hear what this is. I'm going to start out because we have such a big panel and so little time, turning into a reporter, or actually a 9-year-old, which I'm pretty good at. So Dan, what do we got here?
So we have here today for CES our Vinci, the first learning system that we released last year, and also our new innovation, which we call Vinci Deep Learn. So
whoa, a little Vinci.
A little.
So what's that?
And what we try to do is to get your video working, because we are in high-tech stage, but you guys are doing low-tech.
And I might just add that Dan is an entrepreneur in technology and knows a lot about how these things are made.
So
that works. Oh, just a bit more.
And, well, that's the problem, you see. High-tech meets the low-tech. So we are here to talk about actually education, how we leverage the best-in-class technology to engage children in a learning process with fun but clear objectives and the curriculum. So we focus on helping them build capabilities rather than just teach knowledge. In a nutshell, for me personally, how to help my 3-year-old to play her way to Harvard. That's what we are all for about. So that's Vinci.
Did you want to play that?
Yes, I do, but you're showing just a half of my image.
See what it does. We 9-year-olds just make stuff happen.
Because it doesn't show me the button for me to play.
Can you play that though, Dan? I want to see this thing work.
Okay, so
Oh yes. I want to see this.
all right, so this is actually our curriculum where we have 6 aspects covering emotional, math, learning vocabulary, matching samples, colors and shapes, creative thinking. So the key is really to help children to build thinking skills.
So when you say children, you're saying younger children?
Younger children. So here we are probably the only one that covers toddlers and preschoolers, because for us, the first 5 years is the foundation stage where the habits are built, capabilities are built before they are ready for school. That's how, now we can switch. Okay, so
And are you going to have the same software on this little guy?
exactly. So we're gonna have, so this one is basically a mini version. As you all know, we had so much press last year. Everybody recognized that we are in best-in-class children's technology learning product. The only complaint we've had is price. Okay, so what we're doing today, this year, is we made a mini tablet, which will cut the price by half, and we still go with our learning curriculum, help them to go through play, but a little bit of structured play to reach our objectives. So we have objectives for 2 years old, for 3 years old, and for 4 years old before they get to the school. And again, the most important thing is to help them to build capabilities rather than just simply teaching knowledge.
And if it doesn't work, I can always chew on the sides.
You can chew on because it's all safe material. Another key thing is to keep children mobile, right? 100% mobile. Tell me, how do you want your children to go around with this, right? With your big pad, 2 years old, who have to sit down to play with it. That's not our goal. I have 3 years old. I want her to go jump around with it. We can go to a museum, snap a shot, come back and review it. We can go to fun anywhere we go. Okay, so that's keeping children mobile. That's called kids at the play, but keeping them 100%
And as you can see, this woman is passionate about this subject.
because that's my children.
Right, exactly. And there you go. So thanks for that. All right. Next up, we have Matt. What's this thing?
So, you're an 8-year-old? 9-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay, so young Warren Jr.
Yes, sir.
This is really an iPad for kids.
Really?
Yes. So what we set out to do is take the experience that you've been using and trying to use on your parents' iPad and create something that you could have and that you could own yourself. So
I'm playing Angry Birds while you talk.
Okay. So for $199, what we have is the first fully Android-based tablet
Okay.
that runs everything that you as a child would want on an iPad, right? So we
Really
did
Angry Birds? Really Angry Birds?
Real Angry Birds.
Tease me now.
What we did is we said, what would young Warren like to have, and what is he using his iPad for, right? One of them is games. So we preloaded it with all the games that he knows and loves, like Angry Birds, Cut the Rope, Fruit Ninja, Need for Speed, from EA, and all of that type of thing. We also then said, he's probably using it to watch movies. So we preloaded it with Netflix. So you can watch Kung Fu Panda, you can watch iCarly. We have an SD card on the bottom, so we have relationships with the major studios that are providing us movies on micro SD cards like that. So you can take it with you in your car.
You can see other stuff too, right?
We also said, well, you probably want to use books. So we preloaded it with Me Genius. Because what we're doing is creating a platform, just like iPad, right, for all these apps
with all this Vinci genius? I'm not a genius. I'm just a kid. Okay. I don't like the pressure. I get really stressed with this whole genius.
This one's actually
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't get my medication today. And you can say it.
This is better for you, little Warren, because it's going to read the book to you, because I know you have a problem reading.
Okay.
And so
I do know a military officer in the Israeli army who's going to help me out. So, yeah, go ahead.
we also loaded it with music. So Lori Berkner, who's you remember from Nickelodeon, all her music is preloaded. We have a music app loaded on here. We have learning for math. We have over 22,000 different math problems ranging.
What are these
from
ports
pre-K.
here that I'm looking at on the screen?
So you have a HDMI out, which is really important because we can get 1080p if you want to stream it to your.
That's a mini HDMI.
Yeah.
Then USB.
Yep.
Then audio out for
And
headphones.
then power.
Power.
And then on the bottom down here, you have an SD card that we're using as a cartridge model for accessories.
Cool. And it comes in different colors.
Comes in different colors. There's also a camera on it, so we've built a lot of learning so you can create your own.
Can I see the camera? Can I see you in the camera?
Sure.
I like cameras. So that, folks, you have a picture of a picture.
You're messing with the time continuum.
And you see the Apple logo embedded in the picture of a camera.
Yeah, just don't
Comment
take
about
any,
that?
don't take any pictures of that.
Okay. Well,
The other thing, and I want to play a quick video really quick,
Go
but
ahead.
one thing I want you to remember is you can tell your mom that it also has mommy mode.
all right.
So because it's a full-featured tablet, right, the 1.1 gigahertz of everything that we need on this thing, with a simple password, I can type in and go, and now it takes it away and you're in full mommy mode. I can have the Android marketplace, I can have the Amazon marketplace, I can surf the web freely, do my email, buy shoes, and then quickly one click back and I can give it back to my child.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hold on the video? 'Cause
Sure.
I'm going to keep going because
Sure.
I want to get everyone in, and if we can, come back to it. All right?
Okay.
All right. So because this is another very interesting tablet, just comparing the two, almost identical in size, a little thinner. What is this, sir?
So Playbase is a fully functional Android tablet running Android 2.3.
By the way, what's the price?
Microphone, Warren.
What's the price of yours?
Which one?
The bigger one.
The bigger one will be similar, and this one will be half.
So it's half.
I like the half.
From our point of view.
How much if I was to buy that in the store?
Well, you have to buy the curriculum, right? What matters is the
I'm a
content.
poor parent. I want to buy the bloody thing online. How much does it cost?
We haven't worked out the price strategy for 2012 yet.
Okay. So basically about 200 here at Toys R Us, 250 here, correct?
Yeah.
All right, show me the ports and turn it on.
Yeah, okay. So actually we designed these to be ultra portable and ultra thin. It's sub 10 millimeters thick, 9.7.
Yeah.
So we've got actually formed metal housing on the rear that we've engineered ourselves. Okay, so it's very slim, very sleek.
Looks kind of like an iPad.
Well, what we found is that kids, they want what their parents want.
Is this really the iPad 3?
It might be.
So-
We've got here micro USB headset and expandable micro SD, 32 gig.
Cool. Okay. Can you turn it on?
So
Android-like.
yeah, so this is Android 2.3, but actually we've redesigned the user interface to make it very clean, very simple to operate. This is actually to be used by kids, but also by adults because it's a fully functional tablet. We've actually we're now working on putting more and more kid content on the device. We've partnered up with Zoodles. You may have heard of the kid mode, which we're running here. And obviously Zoodles will give parental control over the device.
How's the batteries?
Battery will last for 4 hours.
How about your batteries?
5 hours.
Okay. Your batteries?
8.
Half, 8.5. I'm going to give you a hard time there. So, okay, cool. Pardon my kidding. It's critical that we try to get a benchmark on these things, so that's what we're trying to keep going.
Yeah, so we've also designed the cover, more than just the cover, inbuilt the stand as well. So obviously, you don't want to keep leaning up against something you're watching on a home or on a plane or whatever. So this is actually inbuilt as well.
You got a camera?
Yeah, we've got a front camera.
Can you start it? Can you take a picture of the guy to your right? No, I'm just joking. I want the two things to take pictures of each other. That'd be cool.
It's like the Mick Jagger maybe Adams 20 when he was 20.
This is great. Here we go. It's starting up. There we go. The two tablets taking each other's pictures. Shown on an iPhone for us. Totally meta, which is what this is about. Thanks. And am I forgetting any other questions that we need to say about this? Yeah.
Yeah, I know you've been asking about taking a picture. You also asked about video. I don't think that's
Yeah, it takes video as well.
I think they all are taking video.
all are taking video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great.
So these are very powerful devices and multi-purpose, which I think is where we're going. And also, Dan, you can switch yours out to an Android platform as well, right?
It is Android.
Yeah,
It's fully
so-
Android. So currently, we're running Android 2.3 and Android 4.0 is coming in a few months.
So what would the toy business have to say about this whole category? They're not going to be left behind. There's the VTech InnoTab, and also a huge success story this holiday season, the LeapPad. And
VTech's not here.
Jill, tell us about it.
Not here.
So this is the LeapPad Explorer.
Real loud, are you hearing?
This is the LeapPad Explorer. We launched this fall. It's $99 and sold in stores in the toy aisle as well as online. We offer the educational entertainment experience. LeapPad has 15 years of experience in the educational entertainment business. We have experts in the field of both learning and play where we're replicating our success in this area, and we really consider our formula to be educational entertainment, that content that Dan's talking about, but wrapped in the platform that's most appropriate for our audience. We're targeting 4 to 9. We're seeing people picking up as numbers 2 and 3 as well to play the simpler games with their children.
You know I'm 9 years old, so I didn't hear a lot of those words, but I did start your camera while you were talking. And this is a camera for 99 bucks?
This is a camera and a video recorder.
Take that, guys. Looking forward. Okay, so there's the camera. Can I have a look at that? So what about apps? I mean, you're not running Android on this. How do you get new content onto this?
So we have our own app center that we've created our own apps. We have over 100 experiences.
Leap Tunes. Nah, that's
We do have some music on our app center. We have games, videos, ebooks. We've developed a kind of ebook called the Ultra ebook. It's just an ebook. Ready for a picture?
yeah, I want to meta totally pictures of
Totally
everybody.
meta.
Yeah. I want you to take this all back to your bosses, and it's just so you can say that you were here at CES when this picture's taken. This is a picture of the picture of the picture.
Right. There's video as well.
Well, video, folks, $99. 4 AA batteries, correct?
4 AA batteries, 8 hours.
Can you put an
Battery
SD
life.
card in this?
You cannot put an SD card in it. We have 2 gigs of storage.
2 gigs of storage, so sorry about that. You guys are going through
We're
some
going to
action.
video you. Videoing you.
Yeah, go ahead, that's fine.
There we go.
Sweet.
Here we are at CES.
Here we are at CES, taking video. The only way to go, isn't it? Any other questions about the LeapPad from the audience? Yes?
What do we learn with the LeapPad?
Too theoretical. Next. I know it's an important question, but we just don't want to go there
This
when
is not a debate.
got this kind of schedule. Mandy, can you get online with
question.
this?
You can go online to our LeapFrog Connect and buy apps from our app store.
You can go online by plugging in a USB cable to a
Yes.
PC that's online, and that's how you do it, right?
Exactly.
Which is a bit of a pain, granted.
Yes.
But you guys, you have Wi-Fi. You have Wi-fi.
Yes.
You can turn on Wi-Fi. You're
That's
very touchy about this Wi-Fi issue.
That's right. So parents can choose either Wi-Fi model or non-Wi-Fi model.
All right, folks, here at this panel, we have two completely different platforms. I think that's fair to say. And so I'm really interested to hear what we have. We heard from the sort of the toy business. How about the video game business?
Yeah, so what we have here is PlayStation Vita, which I think here at CES you hear a lot about the Super and the Ultras and the Ubers. I think we look at this as the best handheld gaming system that's really ever been designed. And it's been designed, I think, from a PlayStation perspective, it's easy for us to say, yeah, we got the 26-year-old. But the way we designed it was really that over time we'd have the ability for 9, 10, 11-year-olds to play it. And there's a variety of different ways to do it. You can see here, I think, the dual analog sticks, touchscreen. If you turn it over, there's a rear touch, which in our view is really critical, so it'll get your hands out of the way. It's a high-def OLED screen so that when anyone's playing it, and we tested it primarily against kids so we could see if their small hands would reach around the back, you can get the brilliance of the game and still be able to control your character. So there's really a variety of different ways you can control. Those are a few. There's front and rear camera. I'm going to show you something here in a second, which makes it fairly unique. But it utilizes Wi-Fi, 3G, and there's really just a whole host of different types of games. I think the thing for us is, and because this is multifunctional, we're going to have a range of apps. We have video in high def, and we have music and photos and all that. But the main thing is this is a gaming system. It ties in, it connects to your PlayStation 3. You can play PlayStation 3 against PlayStation Vita. You can play PlayStation Vita against PlayStation Vita. And so it's really a fully functional, really console in your pocket. And there's a lot of different ways that you can play.
Angry Birds?
It has Angry Birds, but it also has those deep, rich kind of gaming experiences. New IP, which I'm going to show you a game here called Little Deviants in a second, all the way to games like Uncharted, MLB, whole host of sports games, racing games. Really
Can you show me something that shows the two screens?
Yeah, let me show you something. You were asking about photo and video. Let me show you this first, because this is using augmented reality, which is one of the key areas that we think is really important. You'll see a bunch of these little deviants fly in as we're shooting the crowd.
You can turn the sound up if you want. Audio is critical with this.
Yeah, you can see as we're shooting the crowd, shoot the panel here. You can see as we're going down.
So you're going to take the picture of the panelists, folks, and shoot them with aliens and balls over their faces.
Right. Yeah.
Take that.
That's right. So this is clearly something that is fairly unique in augmented reality. We think is a really important part of where gaming is going, and something that I think is clearly going to be important as we go along. Now we can show, let's go out of this level, we can show you a little bit about what the rear touch provides. There's another level here that you control entirely, and it's a little deviant, a little ball, that you roll around strictly with your hand. Let's see if I can get that up. There it is. So we'll play this level here. And again, there's a variety of different ways to get the games and the apps. You can either go to the PlayStation Network and download them, or you can purchase the games at retail. This launched in Japan in December, and we've had a very good launch thus far, and then we launched here in North America in February 22nd. So what you're going to see here is this little guy here, this little deviant, needs to avoid these guys, and my hands are going to have to control him as he goes. So you'll see me, forgive me as I move him around, but you'll see my hands become ripples in the environment. So you'll see here, see my hands moving him around like that.
Whoa.
So I'm supposed to move him over to a variety of different areas before he gets to, before the little deviant or the monsters get him. We need to get that key over there, so let's see if I can do that. There we go. And then you bring him in there into the vortex. So fairly easy, and I think it's kind of just a spatial thing with your hands, and really any size hand can do it. I think one of the things that woke me up, and I worked a lot on the design for this for the last 3 years, is I brought it home, and my 1-year-old at the time, who's now 3, picked it up and immediately started playing it and knowing it very intuitively. Yet my dad couldn't do it, so that was kind of interesting. But maybe shows you the culture we live in now. But it also showed, I think, that we're in pretty good shape in terms of being able to appeal to children.
And when does this come out? What's the cost?
This comes out in February 22nd here in U.S. and Canada. $249 for the Wi-Fi and $299 for 3G.
Give me the tour of the ports.
Yeah, tour of the ports. We have a multi-port functional here. That's for most of our peripherals. And really up top, it's on this particular model, it's the game card. This is where you put the game. We have our SIM card. You don't want to mess with that. Please don't take that out. And memory. So pretty simple.
Cameron, what would you say to Nintendo 3DS? This is obviously not in 3D.
Not in 3D, and we designed it on purpose to not be 3D. At Sony, we have a belief that 3D belongs on the big screen. PS3 is a very big component of 3D gaming on the theater type experience. 3DS has its own place. I think this is a much different experience. It has both large games and small games. You mentioned Angry Birds. This also has these types of games, racing games, sports games, all action games, all types of games. Where 3DS does not, it's relegated more to.
And I want to say that there's an empty chair here for Miyamoto. I invited him.
He would dispute that.
Yeah, very important to have that. Scott.
Camera, video, and web browsing?
Yep, all three. The camera's got a front and a rear camera, so for photo, but also for placing yourself in the game, as well as for the augmented reality experience they talked about. Web browser's HTML5, WebKit based.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, last up, one laptop per child's tablet is here. Let's learn about it. Tell us about what you have in your hands there. It's kind of small.
It is kind of small. My hands are kind of small. So are yours, young Warren. And this bit about meeting you in an elevator, our kids don't have elevators. So it's a little sketchy.
Okay.
So what we have here is an education for you.
Let's say I meet you in a field.
Meet me in a field.
Okay.
We do that.
Can you get the microphone?
Yeah, oh, great. Our kids don't have microphones either.
But they do have intrinsic motivation, don't they?
Absolutely. And so we've given them what I'm actually showing you here. Our kids often don't have internet access. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things we provide on the XO3 tablet is what we call Wikipedia slices. So we actually have, this is the Spanish language version, we have 180,000 Wikipedia articles on the device. So they're there, you got all the information you want to learn about.
How much memory in there?
There's 4 gigabytes of permanent storage.
I just hope you have my slides.
Oh, I'm sure you're in there somewhere.
Because I have specific interests
in Spanish.
Okay.
We also provide a variety of educational activities. The software is Linux. It's the same Linux-based platform that we've used on our laptops for the past couple of years. And we don't give you Angry Birds on the device, but you can build your own Angry Birds. This physics application that we provide, and it's all open source software, is actually based on the same physics engine that Angry Birds uses. So it's a lot more educational for a kid to go build his own game than to go sit and play another one. So we give people a lot of tools to do that kind of thing. There are...
hold on. You've got quite an interesting looking layout there. Talk about that.
Well, this is the Sugar desktop. It's the same desktop environment that our laptops provide. We have about 2.5 million of those out in the world. And these activities are all open source activities. They're written using Python, which means it's an interpreted language. The language is right on the device, so the kids can open up, look how the games are written, modify them, look at how the applications
So
are
there are
written.
20 developers in this audience right now that want to write for this platform. What do you say to them?
Python.
Well, they should find a 6-year-old kid to help them have some fun. The organization that coordinates the application development is called Sugar Labs, and all of these activities can be downloaded from the Sugar Labs website. You can also post your own there if you're going to put those up.
So no Angry Birds?
No Angry Birds, but we'd love to write one, have somebody do that. We do have, one of the things that I think is important is that a lot of our history comes from the designs and the thoughts of folks like Jean Piaget and Seymour Papert about having kids use programming as a way to learn about learning.
I asked
Ed
yesterday about the same question about Angry Birds, and he said that start Scratch up and make your own version, right?
Exactly. We have Scratch, eToys, they're all built into the device.
Is this Scratch?
This is turtle art, which is actually logo. It's logo with sort of the logo turtles that we all know about.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Logo is fun. We like logo. You can have your little turtle do things and pick colors and stuff and program your turtle.
And I like to
do
just
your own
drop
thing.
this, and the rest of you guys, put Scratch on it, let them program. I think that's some powerful stuff, right? Very powerful.
No, I mean, I think that really is.
I think echoing on themes of Ossie and Dale.
Actually, just to be sure I'm being honest here, let's see if I actually have Scratch on the device. There's Scratch. It's an old Scratch. Good friend of ours.
Yeah, I agree. Can I get online? I want to buy something, or I want to do some search on Google.
Absolutely, you can do that. It's got Wi-Fi built in. In fact, we have a nice graphical interface.
Unless you're in the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Well, you can see.
You'll never get online in Las Vegas.
You can see all the access points, even though you might not be able to get to them. But even if you don't have internet access, the device can do ad hoc networks with other tablets, so that you and other kids can work on things collaboratively, you can chat with each other, you can share documents. If I have 100 books here and you have 100 books and somebody else has 100 books, we've got quite a library right in the village.
Batteries?
It's got batteries. It's got batteries. Battery life is about 8 to 10 hours. It's designed to be a very low power contacts. So when you've charged up your battery, your solar battery, you just snap it into the cover and off you go. And you've got
Look of awe, look of horror. That's pretty sweet, don't you think?
I think this is also the only device you can see at CES, which is not for sale at retail to any consumer anywhere. That's not what we do. Our audience are children in the least developed countries in the world, and we typically provide these to governments or NGOs or that kind of thing.
Show me the ports.
We got ports. We got ports too. We have a micro USB on the go port, which means you can use a peripheral with that kind of connector, or you can connect two tablets with a cable, or you can power it if you have a micro USB charger. We've got a headphone port and a microphone port. Microphone port's a little bit unusual in that it is also a DC sensor input port. So in addition to sound, we have a microphone in the device, but you can also build a little sensor. Here's a built-in oscilloscope application that you can use, just in case you weren't sure that I was actually talking right now. You can use that with a DC sensor.
Hello, everybody. We are at CES.
And you can measure temperature, light sensor, electrical inputs using that
I don't
input.
see any microphone though. Where's that?
That microphone's that
Oh,
teeny
that's a
little
teeny
thing
little
there.
piece.
See, it really works. We also have a full-size USB port because SneakerNet is really important where we go, and everybody uses these full-size USB keys. But my favorite port is the power port. It's pretty boring looking, but it can take any kind of power you can throw at it. Between 10 volts and 25 volts. You can make power with a hand crank, a water wheel, wind power. These are all sources of power that are actually used by our laptops in the field right now.
All right, thank you guys. Great, thank you. Now, I want to ask another person a question. You guys know your products the best.
You mean the candidates?
The candidates. Yes.
So are those laptops, they're not available in the United States, or like how?
These tablets? No, we don't have any plans to do that. That's not our target. We're trying to solve problems for kids that don't have those kind of opportunities.
Yes.
How do I use get the hands on those?
Well, if you were a child in Rwanda, you can get one. The Rwandan government's doing a great job of making laptops and tablets available to their kids.
Way in the back. Oh, can you take a picture of us?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I'd like to end by asking you all to start your cameras. Could you take a picture of me? No.
I got a question back here.
And also, Apple, we know you're out there somewhere. You're the other chair. And so I think we're going to have an amazing, amazing year because of these mobile devices. It all means empowerment for kids. Darren, who do we have back there? Aline.
What is the website that we can learn more about this on?
What's that? The one laptop?
The last one, yeah, one laptop.
Believe it or not, we're laptop.org.
Dude, I don't think that's a lab. Do you have tablet.org? Just asking. Go ahead.
Hi, how's it going? With the recent developments in 3D learning, especially with the Texas Instruments case studies, I'm curious, as all of you are the top of your industry, have any of you considered the AS3D technology for your learning tablets? And if so, why not?
Who asked that?
Zach.
Who did you ask it to?
Jill, I guess Jill with the LeapPad. I'm curious, have you guys been looking into the AS3D technology with the recent developments and the 3D learning with toddlers, especially at the young age?
We think 3D, we think 3D is very interesting, but we are concerned, or we want to be sure that that's appropriate for kids and it adds to the learning benefit that is our primary objective. Many studies have shown that kids under 6 should not be looking at the 3D screen, so we just want to be sure that the combination of the health and the learning benefit is there.
All right, can you guys all stand up with your cameras and take a picture of the audience? That would be cool. Stand up, please.
Can we finally show our video now that it's...
We're not, I'm afraid we're not going to have time.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah, start it.
Forgot to mention this block is also for social play, so kids can play solo, but also include...
We want you in the picture.
You want to hold up both of yours, Deanne?
Yeah, hold up your Vinci.
Okay.
And I'll start this. Move closer, get in there. Yeah. And I'm going to represent Kim Cook. And Nintendo 3DS should be right here. But here you have the 2012 mobile selections for children. Thank you very much for that.